My name is Mylan with Vision Properties, LLC. We're a Utah-based real estate investment company and been in business for about 5 years. And our focus is on short sales and bank negotiations. And our company was focused on helping homeowners avoid foreclosure. That's what we're passionate about, what we spend all of our time and resources in doing every day. Let me talk to you today about a subject that I think is kind of important to understand, because if you're a homeowner that's facing a potential foreclosure, you need to understand your options, not first of all what your options are, but not only that, but the best way to go about doing it, okay? The best way to go about doing, in this case, a short sale. And of course, this is all just my opinion as an investor, okay? But this is good information for you to have, because you're going to be approached by realtors, or you may have a realtor friend that has offered to help you list your property to do a short sale. And I want you to understand what the challenges are and why only less than 15% of short sales in the state of Utah are actually getting completed successfully by realtors. And I want to mention, first of all, I have nothing against realtors. In fact, I use them all the time on our different transactions. But the problem is that realtors, in my view, are set up to fail when it comes to short sales. And I'll explain why I say that, okay? And then I'll talk about how to avoid these failings, these failures, these pitfalls that can happen in a short sale situation. So let's talk about kind of the short list. When I ask a realtor what the difficulty is or the challenge is with short sales, this is what they tell me, okay? I've asked this question many times. First of all, they have to wait around for an offer. And why this is a critical thing and why this causes a lot of pressure in the situation is because a lot of times there's already a notice of default that's been filed with the county that starts that foreclosure clock ticking. When that notice of default hits the county records, essentially there's a time frame of about a little less than 4 months to get it resolved before it goes to auction, okay? So a realtor, if they have to sit around during that precious time and wait for the offer before the short sale process even begins with the bank, it's very stressful and it's very hard to get things done, okay? Because a lot of times, even when the short sale is submitted to the bank still moves forward with the auction date, okay? Now, you can get that postponed. We'll talk about that in a minute if you'd like. But the second thing is that the short sale process just takes too long in general. So not only is, and this is probably the biggest thing, I'm going to say this right up front, probably the biggest challenge is to realtors is that it does take so long. Because once that offer is submitted to the bank, it takes, right now it's taking about 4 to 5 months to get it done. Okay, that long. That's how long it's taking. And it's super frustrating for the buyers because they have to sit around and wait for that long. Okay, that's the big thing. Is unless they're really, really super motivated, most buyers are just going to walk away. So it's really hard to keep buyers on the hook in a short sale situation. And it's probably one of the biggest causes for short sales to fall through when it comes to realtors. Okay. Another thing that happens is that it can become a bidding war. What I mean by that is that realtors, when they're marketing a property and they're marketing it at an aggressive price, you'll get more than one offer coming in. Well, if a realtor doesn't know what they're doing with a short sale, then it can actually kill the short sale when you submit all those offers to the bank, okay? Another thing that can happen is it's just super frustrating for a buyer. Can you imagine a buyer that's been sitting around patiently for, let's say, a couple months while the short sale process is going on with the bank? And then at the last minute when they think everything's going to happen and everything's going to close, somebody comes in and outbids them. All right, that's another huge thing that happens that's why it's really hard for buyers in a short sale situation. Another thing that I've seen happen is that second mortgages, because they are beholden to the first mortgage in what they're going to get out of the short sale, meaning the first mortgage determines what all junior lien holders are going to get in a short sale situation as far as payment. If the first doesn't allow enough to the second, and the second wants more out of the deal, then a lot of time that'll kill the deal, because then the realtor has to go back to the buyer and see if they can bring more cash to the table for the second mortgage. A lot of times outside of closing to do that, and so that'll often kill things. Another thing is that realtors, this is a big frustration for them, is that, and a lot of them, this is the reason why a lot don't do it, is because it takes so much of their time, and they get paid less to do it. Banks are actually ask realtors to take less of a commission on a short sale as part of the deal. Okay, and so way more time, way less pay. So it's not a hugely motivating kind of a situation for a realtor. So let's talk about how to get around these things, because there's another way to do this that can stabilize the situation and make it a much higher success rate as far as the short sale is concerned. And this is actually the approach that Vision Properties takes when we are working on a short sale. Let's just walk down through the list. So first of all, we immediately put in an offer, a cash offer to the bank, as the buyers and as the negotiators. So we are negotiating the purchase of the property. Okay. While we're doing that, we have the realtor marketing the property for us to find an end buyer. So what that does is it changes the timeline. If we can get that timing just right, we're already working through the bank's short sale process at the same time that we are finding that end buyer. So by the time we get down to the end of the process, hopefully, this is the best case scenario, obviously, is that we're finishing up our short sale negotiations to buy the property, and we already have a buyer ready to go. That buyer doesn't have to wait around very long, a fraction of the time. Okay, so it creates a different timetable. Also, it's pretty standard for us to work with the second mortgage to make it agreeable to them, so they'll agree to do the short sale. So if there is more money that needs to come to the table, we can do that. And so that doesn't even become a problem. And here's a great thing, and this is for realtors more than homeowners. Homeowners don't really care about this, but realtors don't ever have to talk to the banks. They can focus on what they do best, which is market the property. And guess what? They get their full commission. So there's no cutting corners on that. Anyway, that's why there's more than one way to skin a cat, and that's really what I'm trying to communicate to you. You can do it a different way and have a much higher success rate. And it's important to go with a company that is reputable, that knows what they're doing, that has the expertise and experience. Okay, it's really important. And Vision Properties happens to be one of those companies. And of course, I'm biased, but it's the truth. We work with a lot of realtors and a lot of homeowners in the Utah County, Salt Lake County areas mostly. If you'd like to know more and see what talk about your options, or just if you have any questions, because there's a lot of questions about short sales, the deficiency, those kind of things, go ahead and just call that number down below on the bottom of the screen, or you can pick up a free foreclosure guide. If you go to that website down at the bottom of the screen, fill out your information, and we'll send that to you. Anyway, I wish you the best, and call us if you have any questions. Contact us. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks, and we'll see you on the other side.